Woo! So the dust is starting to settle a little bit in the sports world. Across all the leagues, we've had a various amount of questions answered this past week, but there were even more questions on our plates right now. The wild cards, the finals, and COVID-19 strikes again. We got all the good, the bad, and the highly questionable on episode 12 of Top of the Standings. But first, a word from our amazing sponsor, Anchor. Okay, Drew, before we get into anything, I must ask for your Detroit discretion if we're going to get into the Stanley Cup.
I never thought I would ever say it in my entire life, but congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, I know it's tough. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, Drew, but I mean, they did have a really good run.
Yeah, I will admit that that was impressive. I mean, especially after losing game one, and they really after that did not let up. I mean, they had Steven Stamkos in for a game. After that, he was like, "Oh, you got this. I'll leave it up to you." And that's about where the series ended.
Yeah, I questioned one big thing. Would Anton Khudobin be able to contain that Lightning offense? And ultimately, the answer was no. Game one, it looked really good, but from there on, I mean, especially with game four was an absolute shootout. Um, I mean, the Lightning they won it, they celebrated and stuff in Tampa Bay, in Tom Brady's crib at Raymond James Stadium, and that was probably one of the weirdest championship parades I've ever seen. But we got a new glimpse of what championship celebrations might look like during the pandemic.
Yeah, maybe in Tampa Bay too.
Yeah, because you're not used to seeing
Hey,
championship.
for 3 reasons.
Oh,
For
for
three
3 reasons.
reasons.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, I mean, this NHL season has been awesome. This NHL postseason has been amazing. I mean, I know for you it kind of seems anticlimactic because that team of all teams won it, but I mean, you got to admit this was an awesome postseason.
Yeah, it was. I mean, not even just for the games, but the NHL did a fantastic job with executing on the bubble. And hey, that may be one of the best things that ever happened in the NHL because, I mean, they just how many tests did they have? A couple thousand, like a lot of tests, and zero positive tests came in. They did a fantastic job with the bubble. I mean, they expanded the playoffs. They had that little like almost wild card like entrance
Mhm.
round. Overall, it was fun to watch. I mean, obviously things did not go my way. I had some questionable picks, like picking Carolina to win it all. That obviously did not happen, but overall, yes, it was very, very good.
Yeah, and it was also fun to predict too. I mean, we were going back and forth with the disagreements and the picks, and obviously that was fun. It's just a little glimpse of um what is to come for other sports.
Yeah, I it was definitely it. I didn't realize how challenging it would be to pick hockey. I kind of went with the safe ones, except for obviously Carolina to win it all. But I picked a lot of the one seeds. Golden Knights, they kind of disappointed me. I mean, I was surprised. Dallas beat them 4-1, and then Dallas proceeds to get 4-2. So that was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, Tampa Bay really turned it around. But overall, man, I mean, congrats to the NHL for finishing their season. First ones to really do it during the pandemic full time. It's obviously this is very good. This is very good for the NHL. And you know what? This might not be the last time we talk about them for the next 2 months because we got the NHL draft coming up this week,
Mm-hmm.
which should be very interesting, to say the least, with the picks and
Mm-hmm.
the arrangements and the lottery and stuff like that. That should be very uh, interesting to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
I know, it still hurts, man. I know. But,
Yeah,
oh my
so
god.
excited for four.
Oh man, what a robbery! Didn't even get top three. I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm still heated by that, and I'm not even a Red Wings fan. Um, but yeah, NHL, really good job. But also, who's done a good job is the MLB. The MLB turned it around after all the tumultuous, you know,
Whoa, big word.
activities. It- oh! What you trying to say? No, I'm just playing. But
That was insane. I've never heard that word ever being said. I don't even know what that means.
tumultuous, and basically, is another word for awful.
Wow, that's a big word.
Yeah, big boy word. But anyways, after a very awful turn of events for the MLB, the negotiations were falling off left and right. Some teams were testing positive left and right. A lot of games had to get postponed and stuff, moved back. After all that stuff went down, here we are. The virus seems to have been contained for the moment for the MLB, and here we are about to enter the bubble. But before we entered the bubble, we had a wild card round, and it lived up to its billing. It was wild.
That was fantastic. I love what I saw from sorry Cubs fans, the Marlins, dude. A Florida native in me loved to see it. They still are undefeated in the playoffs. They have not lost a series. That is insane to me. And Tampa Bay, they also played very well as I expected. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but we also had some very, very disappointing series.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
for instances, the Twins. I mean, how is it possible? I mean, how can you not win a playoff game? That was very disappointing. And the Reds and Braves. I mean, both teams were kind of disappointing. It was a very dead series.
Yeah, they better be glad you were born in March because I was inches away from saying the Twins haven't won a playoff game since you were born. Um,
Yeah.
but still though, that's sad. And when I was picking the Twins, I had almost kind of forgot about the drought. Like I knew it existed, but I was thinking to myself, there's no way they're gonna get swept by a below 500 Astros team, right? Wrong. I said that should be a very high shooting offensive series, right? Dead wrong on that one. And that wasn't the only series I was off on when it comes to offense versus defense. Dude, what happened to the bats? I know Josh Donaldson didn't play, but what on earth happened to the bats?
Dude, when I was watching the series, all I could think about is you questioning the pitching staff, and both pitching staffs went insane.
Oh, dude. I guess they watched top of the standings and just absolutely went off on me. They activated ham mode on the originator of ham mode.
Yeah, they were like, "Up, we listened top of standings." That dude Jotham, he said our pitching was going to be questionable. No, it's not. We're gonna shut out both teams until the 13th inning.
Oh, good God. And that's another series that was disappointing. I'm gonna move on from Astros Twins. I'm actually pissed off because of that series. Whoa. This has been a very, very disappointing season for the Reds. I mean, overall, not even just the team. The team obviously had a disappointing season. The hype didn't get lived up to. The broadcasters even have a wacky offseason to go through. And now you look at the state of this team and you're just like, are you kidding me? We couldn't put up a run in 22 postseason innings?
30 straight against the Braves.
Yeah.
Um, That's insane. I mean, yes, like you said, it's very disappointing, but it was almost weird. It was a roller coaster. It really was. They started off very slow. They started off very, very disappointing. And then, I mean, they are a good team. They made so many good acquisitions in the offseason. And then towards the end of the season, I believe they went on like a 9-game winning streak to get into the playoffs. They started to really, really look like the team they are supposed to be. And then right after they get into the playoffs, and then just it was really hard to watch. I heard some people say it was a lot of fun. I honestly didn't find that much enjoyment because I like to see runs. I like to see those explosive games, especially like the Yankees and the Indians. That was an explosive series. I mean, even the Padres and the Cardinals was an explosive series, but the Reds and the Braves they were very far from being explosive. I mean, both teams had dead bats. I mean, I was I was like what am I watching? I mean, the Braves, Ronald Acuna, I mean, Freddie Freeman, they had so many weapons, and then the Reds, they had so many opportunities, bases loaded, first and third on multiple innings. It was just so hard to watch. I mean, they have a good team. Their execution is basically hitting home runs, nothing more, nothing less.
Ugh, dude. I thought they could hit some home runs, and I questioned their pitching because they haven't been to the postseason. I should have questioned the bats because they hadn't been in the postseason. What on earth? That was the epitome. This is probably the biggest baseball, non-show up I have ever seen in my life because this is absolutely atrocious. I did not expect the Reds to get clapped like that on offense. That was absolute clamps. And you know what pisses me off the most about it, bro? They wasted Trevor Bauer's 12 Ks and no walks.
Dude, I know. I mean, that was a historic playoff pitching pitching performance. It was it was just so disappointing. I was watching. I was like, how can a team be this bad? You had bases loaded with no outs one time. You had first and third with like again no outs, and you still can't score. That is ridiculous. I I think they should definitely find out the problem of that. I don't see it with their players, maybe a coach or someone. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but that was just pitiful. I was like, I can't watch this. This is terrible. Obviously, I continued watching because I wanted to see who won, but it was tough. It was not good.
Drew, you know what? The Reds were playing so bad. It felt like they needed us in that lineup. As a matter of fact, pack your bags, get your pens. We're going to Cincinnati and we're playing for the freaking Reds.
To put me in, put my home run magic in. I'll get you a run.
Yeah, freaking scooping up the food down the third baseline. I'll do something. At least
Hey,
you can round home.
have you seen those like highlights where the ball boys they don't know it's a fair ball? They go out and grab it, and everyone's like, "No, don't touch it." That's what you should do. That's what you should do. You need to stop the Braves from getting any type of momentum.
Oh man. That is actually hilarious. That feels like sideline interference in football. That's absolutely
Yeah.
hilarious.
But the one thing I really wanted to talk about was I heard this take in the Cardinals Padres
Hmm.
game, and I really agreed. I had never seen such bad base running in a span of a week. There
Whoa.
were so many bad base running decisions. I mean, the Reds, I believe it was in game one, they had two very bad base running decisions. One was Nick Castellanos when he tried to stretch. He was on second, or maybe he was on first, and maybe Joey Votto or someone got a hit, and he tried to stretch just going to second into going from first to third on a hit to, I believe, center field. Got easily tagged out. I don't know what that was. That was not smart, especially in a very tight game. I mean, I guess you're trying to get a base runner to third to score a possibly easy one. Who knows? Maybe it would have worked out if he actually got there. Who knows? Maybe they would have scored, but still in a close situation like that, you can't be doing that. And then later in the game, this was so confusing. This may be one of the worst base running plays decisions I've ever seen because they I seen this a lot when I used to play. So
Hmm.
you have a runner on first and third, and your runner on first, usually with no outs. Obviously, you're not going to steal with two outs, but your runner on first would start to head to second so that the catcher throws it to second base while you still have a runner on third. Then right when that catcher throws it to second, the third base runner would try and go home. Well, I don't know why the third base runner didn't try to go home because after he threw it to second, then the it almost was like a stutter where the runner on first stopped and then the runner on third stopped and then there was a pickle and it eventually got the runner on third tagged out, so now you only have a runner on first or second. That was so stupid. And then we saw another pickle in the Padres game.
Oh.
I just it was terrible. And not even that's not it. I just remembered Byron Buxton in a one-run game, he gets picked off at second. Byron Buxton is one of the fastest runners in the MLB. And this is what I'm saying. I don't understand how the Twins literally they are choking. Like there's nothing gone wrong. I mean, they are doing it to themselves. I've never seen anything like it. There have been so many times that I've seen bad base running in. It was awful. I've never seen anything like it.
They've got more playoff losses than I have years on the planet. That's sad, man. That's
Yeah, in
bad.
a row. In a
Yeah,
row.
that's tough. But you know what's not tough, and this we I probably said this was going to be the series of the wild card round and White Sox Athletics. That could have went either way, and you know what? It went the distance, and it didn't disappoint.
No, I mean it didn't disappoint unless you're a White Sox fan. They were the game one was. I mean, I expected it. I don't think anyone else didn't expect that. I mean, that was to be expected. The White Sox came out hitting home runs as they usually do. Then the Dallas Keuchel had a bad start, allowed a lot of runs in game two, which was uncharacteristic. And then game three, that was a shootout. That, like you said, could have gone either way. Um, Overall, it was a good series. Both teams, I mean, the A's almost had a streak like the Twins and the Padres and all of the other teams. Like they had lost 9 straight elimination games. Most of them coming from the Detroit Tigers. Um, yeah, the Tigers and the A's have had a good rivalry. I'm saying good because it's gone in the Tigers' favor, but um, yeah, it was good to see. I mean, I honestly, I liked both teams. I would have enjoyed to see the White Sox go pretty far since I've never seen it before, but since the A's have been so close to getting over the hump, this was good to see as well.
Yeah, very good to see. And with me living in the Chicagoland area, I had my fair dose of White Sox fans that I had to run through a gauntlet. When I came to class the next day,
Oh yeah.
it was bad. I had a couple of Sox fans. I don't know if I have any Cubs fans, but either way, Chicago baseball is hot right now.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like there's a lot of bandwagon baseball fans in Chicago here. I mean, one day you're a Cubs fan, the other day you're a White Sox fan. I mean, that basically is what happened. The White Sox get eliminated, next day go Cubs.
And then the Cubs get eliminated. Okay, who do I root for now? Let's see
Uh,
who's better next year.
yeah, I got to take up that that's just so funny to me. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes too. It's weird. It's so weird.
Oh man, yeah, and me personally, I like both the Cubs and the Sox, even if they're both terrible. But I mean, if one team is more successful than the other, and one is going to the playoffs and one is not, I'm obviously going to support the team that goes to the playoffs until the other one makes the playoffs the next year. But I'll still be supporting both teams then, So
Yeah. So
that's
you aren't hopping on the bandwagon both sides. Like you're not hopping off, running over to the other side, hopping off, running over to the other side. Your both of your legs are on the bandwagons. You're
yeah,
hanging on to both.
yeah, and another bandwagon that we could probably be on. We could definitely be on this Padres bandwagon because look, in my opinion, Game 2 of Cardinals Padres, that was the game of the wild card round. In my opinion, that was the best game I watched in the wild card round.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I don't think I I don't know if I could say this, but that may be one of the best games since Toronto, Texas, when Jose Bautista hit that electric home run, that bat flip. I mean, I'm not comparing it because Fernando Tatis had a very similar bat flip. I'm just saying because it was so back and forth. It was a shootout. One team would take the lead, the other would take the lead. There's absolutely no pitching. No one could pitch a strike. But man, that was just electric. I that was so much fun. I like I said, I think Fernando Tatis is the MVP, and he sure proved why he is in the running for that.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like it was when it was 6-2. It looked like the Padres were dead in the water. Their season was over, and that is what you love when teams can just go from season over to going on to the next round in a blinking of an eye, a snap of a finger. When Tatis hit that home run, that changed everything. And then Machado followed up too. And then Will Myers had a 2-homer game.
Tommy Pham 4 for 4 at one point.
Oh my gosh, dude. The Padres just woke up. I know the Cardinals were shook. I was just like, I had never seen such a turnaround for a team that has another team's number before.
Yeah, the only reason that is it's kind of sad is that there were no fans. Imagine if that place was packed; it would have exploded every time anyone got a hit.
Oh,
That's
San
that's
Diego.
sad.
It, it's sad to say, man, but that I know the San Diego Padres fans would have went stupid crazy if they would have been allowed in those stands.
Especially with that Tatis bat flip and home run. Oh my gosh, second of the game. Oh my gosh.
Remember when Juan Soto hit a that go ahead 3-run double against the Brewers in a wild card game last year, and
Yeah,
Nationals
yeah,
fans were popping bottles in the eighth inning.
yeah.
I think we
Trent
might have seen
Grisham.
something like that.
Trent Grisham also has he has been playing well for the Padres.
Yeah,
Funny you brought that up. I mean, the kind of a ironic a coincidence there, but he has also showed up. I mean, the entire San Diego Padres roster is stacked, but they have been also very productive. I mean, uh, every player has really come through. I mean, we saw. I mean, in the first game, Tatis, Machado, Myers, they all played very well. And then the other big guys showed up in game 3. I mean, Hosmer had that big hit, big RBI. They all around just produced.
yeah, that's gonna be amazing to watch. And their opponent, the Dodgers, they had easy breezy time with the Brewers for
Yeah,
the most
I was
part.
surprised honestly by the first game. I did not expect the Brewers to score any runs. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like I mean, they basically did not. One hit scored them all of their runs, but I was kind of surprised. I was like, "Ooh, 4-2. That's kind of close. That's closer than I thought." I mean, and I also thought the Dodgers bats would have done a lot better, but
Yeah,
you know, I they 2 wins. I mean, the team that looks the best to me, honestly, is the Rays. I mean, they they just all around. I mean, have you seen the scores of their game? Every single game that they played, they have gone off. But it's weird to say I haven't seen that from the Dodgers yet.
yeah, that's gonna be very interesting because if the Dodgers get bounced out by the Padres, we're gonna go nuts.
Dude, I don't even care about my predictions at that point. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I go Padres. I hope they win it all. Them or the Marlins. Marlins, Padres,
Oh,
NLCS, dude, that would be insane.
give it to me. Give it
I'm
to me.
here. Yes, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh yeah. Speaking of predictions, let's go ahead and make some DS predictions. We'll start with the ALDS. And speaking of, you know what? I want to speak this into existence. There are absolutely no central teams in the division series. That is the first time in history that has happened because there were 7 teams in the wild card round from both the AL Central and the NL Central. All of them got bounced. It sucks to be in the Central.
Yeah, that is insane. That is super crazy. And I didn't expect it. I mean, I thought at least one of them would have broken through. Come on, Twins. But man, that is weird. East versus West first. I mean, technically Astros are in the South, but we'll count them as West. Yeah, that's just crazy. But where are we starting? I'm ready.
Let's start with Yankees Rays.
Matt, see, this is going to be a good series because you picked the Yankees to go to the World Series. I picked the Rays to go to the World Series. So
Mhm.
this is a make or break it. I really haven't seen anything bad from the Rays. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even care to watch because every time I saw the score, it was a blowout. And I mean, it's crazy. I knew they were good, but I guess that their talent will be put to the test against these Yankees. When I watched the Yankees against Cleveland, this is one of the rare rosters where I felt like every single player was productive and can change a game with one swing. Because when you see some of these teams, they have like their 1 through 4 batters are their best batters,
Mhm.
and then like the rest of the lineup either strike out, pop up, ground out. Cubs.
Mhm.
Um, uh,
Oh, really?
sorry about that. I just had to bring that up. They But the Yankees, every single person can change the game, and that's what's scary about them. There is not one bad bat in that lineup, and it's going to be a close series. But I think hopefully I'm correct. You've made a statement like this before, but I think the pitching will be key. Tampa Bay, I think they have the stronger staff. Don't get me wrong, the Yankees have a very, very good pitching staff, but I do not think it's as strong as the Tampa Bay Rays. And if Tampa Bay is able to control the Yankees bats, I feel like Tampa Bay's offense will go out strong. I feel like they will play very well. I'm gonna take the Rays, but that's only based on pitching. If I'm telling you, if the Rays struggle with pitching, it may be a blowout. But I'm hoping it's not, and I'm taking the Rays. I think their bats will be the key, and only if their pitching holds the Yankees.
Yeah, I really hope so too, man. But even though I picked the Yankees, my brain says Yankees, but my heart says Rays. Um, I just think the Yankees will go out and do the same thing that makes them so hated. Beat teams that have never won it before. it just it's maddening how the Yankees ruined so many good teams and robbed so many people of championships. And I have a bad feeling. I had a bad feeling in my head that they'll do it to the Rays, but I mean, I'm still picking the Yankees officially on the prediction sheet. But I really hope it does not happen. I don't want to see the Rays go out like this. I, I mean, number one seed. This is it for Tampa Bay. I'm not saying this is championship or bust. Obviously, they have next year and the year after that. This team is set, but I feel like this is a really really good opportunity to get to the ALCS right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the best opportunities. I mean, they are the one seed after all. Who would have thought that the Rays would be the one seed and the Red Sox wouldn't even make the playoffs? One of the worst teams in the MLB. That's just crazy to me in the first place. But this is the year for the Rays. They are the one seed, and this will definitely set them up for success. I feel like if they can get over the Yankees, I feel like they could beat anyone.
Yeah, I agree because the Yankees are basically the bar in terms of franchise success. They are the bar, and when you get over the bar, that means it's time for you to set it next.
Yeah.
But I really hope the Rays prove me wrong. But you know what? Let me go there because this is definitely a couple of interesting rivalries right here. How about the Astros and the A's? This feels like the good guys in the city versus the bank robbers.
See, this is very interesting because these two teams know each other very well, similar to a few other teams. I mean, like the Marlins and the Braves, they know each other very well, and I feel like that will be a key to both of those series. Um, even the Rays and the Yankees. I mean, if you have like if you have experience with the team you're playing, I feel like that will come into key because you know their weaknesses and strengths. Um, this one is going to be close. Man, I hope it's the A's. I really do. I think
Oh.
the entire MLB hopes it's the A's. Um, this is very very tough because I don't know what to think about the Astros. I did not think they were going to be good coming into the series against the Twins, and they definitely proved everyone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because they don't even have a closer either. After their starter goes, they go the entire rest of the game with their most of the time first reliever, which is crazy. And if that's the case, it's going to be very tough for the Athletics. I mean, the A's, the only game they really showed me that they were good were was game 3 because game 2 it was really back and forth. I mean, sure they won, but that game 3 it really proved that they were here to stay.
Mm.
This is this is close. I think again, since they've played the Astros a ton, I feel like that will be key, and I'm gonna take the A's. But this is not a confident pick for me because this could go either way. It depends how both teams play, but I am gonna pick the A's. I feel like it, their pitching staff does have to do a little bit better. Both starting, relieving, closing, all that has to do better. But I think if their pitching staff does their job, I think the offense will do theirs.
You know what? I'm pretty confident in the A's pitching staff after what they did to the White Sox offense. If they can get past the White Sox offense, I definitely think they can get past the Astros offense. Um, there's a reason why they are below 500 after all. Um, the Athletics, they've shown me that they can turn a game around really quickly. It looked dead in the water when they were down 3-0. And then you have your rookie catcher hit a 2-run dinger to put you right back in the game. You have a 4-run fourth inning, and that's crazy to see that you know these Athletics, they've gotten over the hump. They've gotten over the postseason hump, and you know what? I think they're going to beat the Astros. I think this will be a sweet victory for the Oakland Athletics.
Oh wow, that kind of gave me chills. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I'm going to actually be fairly confident in this pick.
Wow, that you said a sweep? Did
Yeah,
I hear that right?
no, a sweet. Sweet
Okay,
with a T,
okay.
not a
I was
C.
gonna say, I
Oh
was
boy.
like, oh
Oh
my
boy.
gosh.
No.
I was like, that's why I was like, did you say sweep?
Oh man. I hope it happens, but
Yeah, me too. That would have been the most bold thing you've ever said. Um,
yeah.
that 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 kind of caught me off guard. I was like, oh my gosh, no way he just said sweep. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Their offense just needs to come through.
Yeah. Anything but an Astros Yankees ALCS for the third time in 4 years, right?
Yeah, that's just that's gross.
Yeah, but don't worry, we'll have an entirely different NLCS because in the NLDS we have some really juicy matchups. Probably, definitely, at least as juicy as the ones in the AL. We'll start with Marlins Braves, the one we did not see coming at all.
Oh wow, dude, this series makes me smile because these two teams have gone through a lot these past 20 years. It's gonna be close, honestly. Both of these teams I really do enjoy watching. To be honest with you, I still can only name like three Marlins, but still, nonetheless, I enjoy watching them. The Braves, their offense is so good. Their pitching staff looked very good as well. But I was surprised because I thought the Cubs pitching staff was good, and you saw how these young Marlins were able to like produce effectively in
Uh-huh.
the seventh inning. In the seventh inning, um, yeah, this is gonna be a very close series. It's gonna be so close, man. I don't know who to pick because I like both teams. Could we see the Marlins get a step closer to heading to their third World Series? I don't know.
Uh,
This is again. I don't know. This is one I do not know, but I like both teams. That's why it's so difficult. The Braves, their offense, Ronald Acuna Jr., Freddie Freeman, Adam Duvall. So, I mean, Marcelo Zuna as well. He had a big home run. Their pitching staff was so good. The Marlins pitching staff was pretty good as well, only allowing one run.
uh-huh.
Uh, I'm gonna take the Marlins. The Florida native in me, I want the Marlins to win, so I'm going to pick them. I feel like they're gonna shock the entire MLB, and I feel like their bats are going to play well against these Braves. I hope they do not let me down, but that is a big possibility.
Yeah, I don't blame you for picking the Marlins because I was going back and forth, not before the podcast, but actually right now at this moment, thinking, who am I going to pick? Because
It's difficult.
it's so difficult. But you know what? I'm going to, for the sake of contradiction, I'm going to go ahead and make this interesting and take the Atlanta Braves. Look, both pitching staffs have shown you they can shut out a team in the postseason, and both bats can show you that they can get timely runs. It's basically a coin flip because obviously you don't know who's really on the Marlins, but you know the Braves and you know how inconsistent they can be with their bats, especially against the Reds of all teams. They didn't really wake up until late, and they probably should have lost the first game too. But the Braves, this series is going to come down to who lights it up on offense. I know I said that last round and it absolutely backfired on me, but this is the series where I feel like it's going to be a dogfight like it was before in the wild card round. And it's just going to come down to who gets that run, who gets those 2, 3 runs.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost the scariest part about the Marlins is that you said no one knows many of the players. And I think that is insanely scary. I mean, you see this one player like, oh, I've never heard of him. Next second, he hits a home run. So it really, both of these teams, I feel like definitely one of us had to take the counter argument because this one is so 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like your pick. I really do not blame you. I either one I'd be fine with. Either one I think could easily win, dude. Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so good. But dude, the I think this will be the series of the DS. The series of the DS right here. Padres and Dodgers. Oh baby.
I hope you're right. I really do. I really do. This is a tough one. But I like what I saw from the Padres. They showed again, like you said with the Marlins and the Braves, that they know how to score these timely runs. It is impressive. I mean, their their bats are so I wouldn't they are very talented. They have some
Mhm.
talented players. But the pitching staff is really what I question. They really shocked me in game 3. I was very shocked that they were able to shut out the Cardinals, which I didn't know was possible. But I was so disappointed in their pitching staff in game 2. I mean, maybe it was the talent of the Cardinals bats, but it seemed like every time the Padres would get that extra insurance run, the 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 Cardinals would say, "No, give it back. We're taking it," and they would earn themselves a run. So this one is so tough. And then we saw the Dodgers. It really looked like Clayton Kershaw was in his vintage form. I mean, he was him and Trevor Bauer. Them two were almost identical except for Clayton Kershaw's one walk. But oh my gosh, this is a close series. I feel both of these teams have so many good players. I want to take the Padres, but I'm going to take the Dodgers. I feel like they have more talented bats and I feel like their pitching staff is again more talented and more reliable.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Dodgers too because I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it. Just like the Lakers, just like their crosstown, buddies with the Lakers. You just don't feel this team losing in your gut. You just don't see it. You don't feel it. The team is too stacked. The team is built to win a championship. You just don't. I just don't see the. I just don't see anybody beating the Dodgers. But this Padres team could definitely put up a fight. Can definitely do some things. They just need consistency, not just from Tatis and Machado. It doesn't have to be those two carrying the team. It just needs to be at least somebody stepping up.
Yeah.
At least one Padre. One.
Yeah, because we saw Hosmer. He did not really play well in game 1 and game 2. Game 3 came out was clutch. Uh, like you said, consistency will be key.
Oh man, how I wish this would be played in California.
Yeah. It's almost bad luck because the Padres are so good, the Dodgers are so good. It's going to be a tough series.
Yeah, we'll see, but obviously, this is the MLB bubble now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, AL in California, NL in Texas. I mean, NL, yeah, NL in Texas, and then AL in California. Should be very interesting. But I'm gonna move on to the NFL. This last week was wild. Last week was wild.
Yeah, I'd say so. The Lions. Dude, I don't know if I should pick them today. Last week we said both of us picked the Cardinals and it was a reverse jinx because my Lions actually won a game. How crazy was that? Um I was very unimpressed with Kyler Murray. That was bad. I mean, Kyler Murray he threw almost 4 interceptions. 4. And
Hmm.
Larry Fitzgerald didn't even record a yard. That was the second time in his entire career and his the first time it happened was his first game.
Oh
The
my
Detroit
goodness.
Lions did that. the Detroit Lions were able to shut out Larry Fitzgerald. That I never thought I would ever say that. Um, that was crazy. I mean, just saying those words, shut out Larry Legend. That is crazy. That was a weird game. I mean, it shows that I really had no faith in the Lions because even when Matt Prater went up for that field goal, I literally looked at the balls go through the post and I was like, cool. I really had no reaction to it because, again, next week they could get shut out like 52 to nothing. So
Oh man, you know what? This also shows that the Cardinals just aren't there yet as a contending, like a serious contender. Because in the first 2 weeks they looked really good, shocked the 49ers, beat the Redskins, a team they were supposed to beat, and this was another team they were supposed to beat in the Detroit Lions, but they couldn't get it done, and they're just not exactly there on the Seahawks level just yet. Not there to take the crown just yet. They'll need to string a couple more wins in a row if I want to say that they'll be, officially back. But obviously there were some other games that had me just blown, to say the least. You know, if Bears fans don't have high blood pressure, then I don't know if they have a pulse or not. Because this start to the Bears season has been a roller coaster.
okay, so me being a Lions fan, you being a Bears fan, I really want to ask you: is this team really 3-0? Because to be honest with you, they've gotten lucky every single game, and you know it. You know it. They. I honestly don't know how to feel because are they really 3-0?
I think 2-1 is more suitable. I really do. Because look, we did not earn that win against Detroit. DeAndre Swift basically gave it to us. He should have caught that ball. We should have lost 30-27. That's one. Because he was wide open in the end zone. Coverage got busted. He just dropped the ball. Next week, New York Giants. We were up 17-0. We allowed them to come back, and it's a 4-point game. They have a shot in the end zone. Our defense just clamped up at the end, so they actually earned that win somewhat. Somewhat they earned that win because although Golden Tate, I believe it was Golden Tate, got called for offensive pass interference, so that was another lucky break for the Bears that they got that call because I thought it was going to be on a defense because usually pass interference is on a defense.
Yeah.
But no, it was on the Giants apparently, and okay, that was an earned win. And this win against the Falcons was definitely the it felt like the most earned and deserving win for the Bears. Um, Look, the last four drives for the Falcons, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, interception to end the game. That was the last four drives. The last four drives for the Bears, you know, I mean, they had three touchdowns in a row in the span of what 10 minutes in the fourth quarter. And this was after Anthony Miller dropped the touchdown that could really have put them back in the game earlier. And that was also after Allen Robinson couldn't haul in that touchdown in the end zone, which was still a very controversial call. So basically, when Trubisky got yanked, Nick Foles basically threw 5 touchdowns.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I to this day I don't understand why the Eagles would not keep him because every time he is the backup and he takes over for a struggling quarterback or injured quarterback, he goes off. It's really I've never seen anything like it. He is the best backup I might say ever. I
Hmm.
might say ever. He won a Super Bowl as a backup. So, dude, I mean, I guess you're right. But isn't it great to see a fourth quarter like comeback? Like
Mm-hmm.
the Lions did it so many times. I mean, Matthew Stafford has 35 fourth quarter game winning drives, which is insane, or comebacks.
Mm-hmm.
It is insane. I mean, it's so satisfying to me. Just you're down the entire game. It's so exciting watching your team come back. But man, I mean, I guess I would agree with you. The Bears, you're saying they're 2-1. They probably should have lost against the Lions. I mean, hey, at least they're 3-0. I mean, compete with the Packers, right?
Yeah, we're gonna put that conversation on hold because we are not there yet. But let's make some week 4 picks, man. I will say this will be the most boring week of the season so far. I will say that because if the Thursday night football matchup didn't show you that this week was going to be very underwhelming, then I don't know what you were watching, because Thursday night was so bad. It was the game of the year. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
I mean, it was actually a really close game, but who wanted to watch that, man? Especially after the Jets and their late game unsportsmanlike
Dude,
conduct.
dude. Hey, wasn't it Joe Namath versus John Elway? Sorry, I mean Ripon versus Darnold. Who?
Dude, that was
Who?
so nasty. Uh,
That yeah. No words there. I think we could skip that one.
yeah, let's get that. The Jets. I think the whole organization needs to be swept right now, because the team is bad. The management is bad. The head coach is definitely bad. Uh, they just need a reboot.
Even Dan Orlovsky, who was the quarterback for the Lions when they went 0-16, said his 0-16 Detroit Lions would beat the Jets 16 times.
Oh, dude, I don't know what it is about the Jets, man, but this is terrible. Okay, I'm moving on from the Jets. I'm getting pissed off. We're gonna talk about Jaguars Bengals, the first set of underwhelming games on the schedule.
This is a tough one because the Jags inconsistent. We saw it from game 1. The Bengals, they've been really really close. They've had 2 close chances, and did you see Joe Burrow get absolutely rocked again against the Eagles?
Gosh, oh my gosh, what was it? 7 sacks this time?
Yeah, the Bengals need an O-line. But the thing why I'm almost okay with this game for Joe Burrow is that from my eyes, I don't really feel like the Jags really have much of a good defense. Um, so this we said it last week. Joe Burrow could flourish against the Jags today, but who knows? Who really knows? This one is a toss up. I don't know, but for the sake of it, I'm just going to pick the Bengals. I think this will be Joe Burrow's first win. I've said that almost every week.
Yeah, I feel like this will be his first win and his second non NFL loss.
Yeah, there you go. That works.
So freaking awkward. How did you tie? How did Bengals Eagles end in a tie, man? That's
Yeah,
so ugly.
that was very. That was just. Ugh.
Come on, man. But okay, I'm moving on. But Browns Cowboys. Um,
Ugh.
uh,
Ugh. This one is weird because it could go either way again. The Cowboys, they should be 0-3. We all know that.
mhm.
The Browns, again, it seems like they do this every year. They get everyone excited in the beginning of the season. But the Cowboys really have not looked good. The Cowboys
No.
have not looked good at all. And I think the Browns are going to advance to 3-1. I'm going reckless with my picks today.
Yeah, dude, I don't blame you. Um, you know what? I'm gonna take the Cleveland Browns too.
Yes.
Cause look,
Yes.
cause look, dude, the Cowboys suck. I have a feeling that Nick Chubb is gonna chug through that Cowboys defense. That Cowboys defense, ever since week 1, they have been absolute garbage. They got bailed out in week 2 by their offense, by Dak Prescott. They got bailed out like crazy. They almost, they really could have won it last week, but guess what? Their defense choked in the fourth quarter. And with this Browns team, I think they're good enough to beat the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have to re-examine that. But eh, I
We'll see.
mean, watch the Cowboys win this just because it's a home game.
Dude, yeah, that would be weird. Mike McCarthy is 5-0 at AT&T Stadium, so.
Whatever. All right, Saints Lions. Well, here we are.
Thanks. This one is insanely weird because who would have thought that I would consider the Lions favorites due to the fact that let me count how many people the Saints have out currently. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that are listed as out for today. And all of those players are really good quality players like, Janoris Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore,
Mm-hmm,
Michael Thomas. So,
mm-hmm.
uh, dude, this could go either way. every time I pick the Lions, they've lost, and the one time I don't, they win. So this one is close. Do I'm gonna ask you this question: do you think Drew Brees will go off today?
No, no, and
I
I don't know if he's gonna crack 250.
I don't blame you because he has not really looked good. In my opinion, he has not looked good this year. The Lions um, defense also has not looked good this year. But it was funny because this was one of the few times in the past 10 games that the Lions have been trailing. And you can't blow a fourth quarter lead if you don't have one, right?
Yeah,
And their comebacks, it just seem more like an all around better game when they come back. And last week they really, again, overall had a very productive game. I don't want to pick the Lions because if I do, they're gonna lose. And dude, I'm gonna pick the Lions. Screw it. I mean, the Lions. If you don't, if you don't beat the most injured Saints team, fire Matt Patricia after the game. I dare you. Um, but really, I mean, Kenny Galladay's back. They have a lot. Desmond Trufant is back. They have so many. I mean, not so many, but they do have a lot of people back that were injured. The Saints, the exact opposite. I'm gonna pick the Lions. I feel like today they hopefully are going to win.
yeah. I'm gonna pick the Lions too, especially if they bust out the silver pants. If they bust out the silver pants, it's over. Um, Look,
Last week's uniform combination was nice too,
yeah, I like the uniform. I like the Lions uniform set as a whole. I mean, it's
except
a
the
great
silvers.
combination.
Except the silvers, right?
No, the silvers. Oh no. Oh, you're talking about the silver jerseys.
The
Okay,
silver
that's where we
silvers.
cross the line. That's
The
where we cross the
grays.
line.
The grays.
Yeah, no. But I'm gonna pick the Lions here. I feel like Matthew Stafford is gonna put this team on his back today. I know he usually does that, but I feel like this is gonna be his signature game for this season.
Okay. Nice.
Um,
Let's go.
yeah. Okay. Moving on. Seahawks, Dolphins. I love Dolphins as animals. They're my favorite animal, but they're gonna get
Oh,
grounded by the Seahawks. There's no way I see the Dolphins winning this game.
that
Absolutely
was
no way.
that was really good. That was fantastic. I like how you did it. I like the Dolphins as animals, but the Seahawks are gonna win. That was funny. Um, uh, I'm gonna say the Seahawks as well. I don't think the Dolphins will put up a fight whatsoever. I don't think the game will be close. I think the game will be a blowout. And I would say I like the Dolphins too. I like the animal. They're pretty majestic in the water.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But not
not
on the
not on the
football field.
field. Not on the field. We're about to say the exact same. That's funny.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's just chemistry, right?
Yeah, dude, that was good.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Chargers, Bucks. This could have been Brady's team, but no, he decided to go to Florida.
Hmm. This one, I like this one. I think it's a somewhat exciting game, but the Buccaneers they do have some good good players out. I mean, Leonard Fournette and Godwin, both of those players are out. It's I still think the Buccaneers are going to win this one. The Chargers did put a fantastic fight against the Chiefs, who are I would say on the caliber of the Buccaneers. I think the Chiefs are obviously better, but I still got to pick the Buccaneers. I think it would be a good game though. I really do. Um, I could see an upset though, but I got Buccaneers.
Yeah. I mean, no Fournette and no Goodwin, for the Bucks. So I think the Chargers can definitely take advantage of that, but I don't think they will. I got the Buccaneers in this one. I mean, this Tampa Bay team with Tom Brady and Gronk, and they still have Mike Evans too, and that defense is still really good. The Chargers are just inconsistent. Week 1 they got bailed out by the pulled leg. Week 2 they almost take the Chiefs the distance, and then week 3 they lose to the Panthers with no Christian McCaffrey. So
So
this
they're what the Bears should have been, right?
yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Buccaneers. This team is too good to lose to the Chargers. If the Bucks are for real, and if they're gonna win the NFC South, this is a game they should win.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that you should win, we're gonna move on to Lamar Jackson. After getting sent down way not back to earth, I'm talking in the dirt of the earth. That game against the Chiefs was horrendous. We thought that was gonna be the game of the week, game of the year, and Patrick Mahomes shut that down instantly.
Dude, everyone was trying to sleep on Patrick Mahomes. Why? Why do they do this, Jotham?
You know, you told me this in February. You told me this last week, and you're telling me again. How many times do people have to tell us to not bet against Patrick freaking Holmes?
Dude, everyone does it. It makes no sense. Why? Why? Why is it necessary? I don't know. Um, but this one is interesting. I mean, we saw Lamar Jackson. He kind of, I would say, struggled.
Mm-hmm.
This one again, I this one is close. But man, I got to pick the Ravens. I think they will bounce back today.
If the Ravens lose this game, the Pittsburgh Steelers are winning the AFC North.
Yeah, I would say so.
But I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Ravens because their team is still good enough to beat the Washington football team.
You'd
Not good
hope
enough to beat
so.
the Kansas City Chiefs, but you would hope they can beat the Washington football team, a team from the NFC East, right? Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If the Ravens lose this game. Okay, moving on. Vikings Texans. A battle of the undefeated, no, defeated teams.
This game is kind of ugly,
Yeah.
honestly. Both teams don't look good. But I'm gonna say this is a game to see who looks worse.
Very much
if the
like
Vik
Broncos Jets.
Yes, if the Vikings lose this one, they are garbage. If the Texans lose this, they are garbage. The two teams that you would not expect to be winless, but this is just weird. Um, I think I'm gonna take the Texans. I think Deshaun Watson is gonna play better than Kirk Cousins today. Because those that's basically all both of those teams have left. Deshaun Watson and Kirk Cousins.
I mean, the Vikings still have Dalvin Cook, but oh, wait, do they? Because he hasn't
Yeah.
really shown up recently, ever since getting that extension.
I've always felt that way about him. He's very inconsistent. He's either hurt or he doesn't play well.
Yeah, I'm picking the Texans here too because look at the Texans. Had to go to Kansas City, then host Baltimore, then you got to go to Pittsburgh first 3 weeks of the season. There's a reason they're 0-3. That schedule was brutal. The Vikings, not nearly as brutal. Yeah, you had to go to Indianapolis and you had to go to Tennessee. But Tennessee and Indianapolis aren't as good as Baltimore and Kansas City. Come
Yeah,
on, man. Those are games that you got to get if you're the Minnesota Vikings. They're trash. Go Houston. Okay, here we go with another ugly matchup. Giants, Rams, 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 Rams. I don't think this is even going to be close.
you don't even have somewhat a little bit of faith in the Giants.
I had faith in the Giants last week with the 49ers junior varsity team. No, the 29ers. Bro, they got wiped out at home with the MetLife turf on their side, apparently, and they couldn't even put up my jersey number, bro. They couldn't even put that up. No.
I still don't understand why you picked the Giants. I mean, I get that the 49ers are injured, but still it's the Giants and yeah, like you said the Rams. The Rams have looked good. Again, it was a very controversial loss last week against the Bills. Uh but hey, I'll take it. I like the Bills, but I'm going to take the Rams. Obviously, they look good.
Not even close. I'm done talking about this game. Rams all the way on some 45-7 type stuff. Um, yeah, this game's not even going to be close. Okay, speaking of games, okay, this is a mind game here. Colts Bears.
mm, uh rematch of a Super Bowl, am I right?
Yep.
Uh yeah, this one's going to be again pretty weird cuz it could go either way cuz the Colts I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't watched one game of them cuz I don't really care about them. But I could say the same for the Bears except for one. But um this is weird. I feel like it could go either way. Will the Bears escape? Nearly. Will they nearly escape this time? Who knows? I think though from what I've seen from the Bears, I think they have the capability to beat a team like the Colts. That is some 10 out of 10 analysis there.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give you a 10 out of 10 prediction and say that this game is not going to be as close as the previous three.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm going to sit up here and say that. Look, I know last time Phillip Rivers came to Chicago, uh we were hot. I was hot. Not even my own jersey could save my own mother from raging. So, ah, Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bears. I will pick the Bears because it hasn't gone wrong for me yet. But freaking Phillip Rivers and Jonathan Taylor, if that duo finds a way to go off, I'm gonna have to really question this Bears defense.
30-7 score coming up in the favor of the Colts, guaranteed. No, I'm kidding. Next.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into some good games. The Bills and the Raiders.
I like this game a lot because I
Yeah.
like both teams. But man, the Bills look fantastic. You even got Josh Norman coming off the IL. This is gonna be a fun one. I like both teams. The Raiders, to be honest, they did not play bad against the Patriots. They did not play bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
But this is this is gonna be a close one. Actually, no, I'm gonna say I think the Bills are gonna run away with this one late. Um, I got the Bills. I really like every single thing about the Bills.
Yeah, I really do too. I said this team was going to win the AFC East, and they're playing like it. Now they'll need to figure out how to close out games in the future because you're not going to be able to do stuff like that when you get to Patrick Mahomes' face. But the Bills have shown that they can really be an AFC contender. Um, I really love this team. Uh, I know the game is in Vegas, and anything can happen in Vegas. I picked the Raiders last time they were at home. I don't think I will pick them this time. I got the Buffalo Bills.
Hey, I like it.
I love it. Um, but I do not love this Sunday night football matchup as much as I probably should have. Eagles 49ers.
Mm. I'm gonna take the 49ers. The Eagles really do not look good at all. Don't
Uh,
don't look good one bit. And this is their fourth straight game for a winless team. That's actually insane. Um, I'm gonna pick the 49ers. They are better. The Eagles have not showed me one thing. If Carson Wentz can't beat the Bengals, that's embarrassing.
yeah,
So I'm gonna take the 49ers.
yeah. Give me the Niners. Um, this team is no longer the 29ers because they got George Kittle back. Um, but I just think this team has showed me that they are good enough to their practice squad is good enough to blow out the NFC East. So I'm gonna pick the 49ers again. I will get back on the track of picking them, not doubting their backups or anything like that. 49ers, Niners, Niners, Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, to round out this terrible slate of primetime games, we have Broncos Jets on Thursday night. We're going to get Eagles 49ers on Sunday night. And we're going to get Falcons Packers on Monday night. Ew.
Hey, we got Chiefs and Pats. We'll also play Monday night.
Finally, a good primetime game for week 4.
Who knows? I mean, Cam Newton's not going to be playing. Maybe it'll be Brian Hoyer. Who knows?
Oh, I forgot. Instantly Cam. Oh, no. Never mind. Never mind.
Wait, did we pick Cardinals Panthers?
Oh, no, we didn't.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, Cardinals Panthers. This one's an interesting one. Both these teams are inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals because I think that they have more weapons. Actually, I don't know. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is playing. This one's gonna be odd, but I don't know. I feel like the Cardinals are gonna win this one. The Panthers haven't shown me much.
Oh, boy. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick the Carolina Panthers here. Um, I
Yeah.
feel like they're gonna be consistently inconsistent, and this is gonna be the game that they win because of that inconsistency. I
I can
don't
see
know
it
why.
too. I see it too. I'm not blaming you at all. I could easily see it.
Yeah, but well, I mean, if the Cardinals lose this game, they're in trouble. They're in a little bit of trouble. Because these are two teams in the NFC that you should beat in the Lions and the Panthers. If you don't, we're gonna have to degrade you from NFC West contention for now.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's that. Okay, now Falcons Packers. I hate picking the Packers, but there's no logical way that you can pick the Falcons here, man.
I agree. I'm gonna say the exact same thing. Yeah, this is bad. Uh, I'm not gonna watch this game. I might not. I might not. I don't even care to see either of these teams.
Yeah, we're gonna move on from the Packers. I mean, we're both gonna be picking the Packers just because the Packers are the Packers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Falcons are the Falcons.
This is such a mismatch. What a
Yeah,
mismatch. Great job, NFL. Great job.
nice.
But
They've been killing it with primetime games on weekdays.
yeah, they really have so far. Really hit it on the nail. But they'll bounce back because we have finally a good Thursday night football game to watch. Buccaneers Bears.
Uh, yeah, very good. Um, I'm gonna pick the Buccaneers. I'm sorry, Jotham. I don't like. I mean, Tampa Bay. I probably that's kind of closer to Orlando. Uh,
hmm
Florida native. I'm just gonna pick Tampa Bay. I think they're also a better team than the Bears by far, but not to degrade the Bears because they are 3-0.
hmm
But I think the Buccaneers are better and will win this one.
You know what? I'm gonna pick the Bears.
Oh my gosh.
I know. This sounds cheesy. I swear this is not bear bias here,
Are
but
you sure? Just a tad. Just a
I am
tad.
sure. I'm absolutely sure.
Okay.
I'm looking at
Okay.
this game, and look, this could go either way, in my opinion, because the Bears definitely have a better chance if there's no Godwin or Fournette. But if those two come back, then yeah, maybe the Bucks will win.
Maybe. Just
I know
maybe.
I know that sounds outlandish because it's Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. As a matter of fact, oh boy, do I want to do this? Yeah, I want to do this. I'm going to go with the Bears. Oh
Wow.
my gosh, I
Wow.
already regret this pick, but I'm going to stick with it.
Okay, I respect it. Similar to what I did with the Lions for the against the Packers. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 3-0 picking the Bears so far, so
Continue.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, dude, this is gonna be a one of the less packed weeks in the NFL. So
Wait, should we make
yeah,
picks
but
for the Chiefs and Pats since they're playing on Monday?
yeah, let's make that pick. I was going to um talk about that. Um, wow, Monday Night Football on CBS.
Hmm.
You know
Nice.
how awkward that is.
That is kind of weird. I'm gonna take the Chiefs for the primary fact that Cam Newton will not be playing.
Yeah, Chiefs will win because no Cam Newton.
Yeah,
That sounds just about right. That sounds very
easy,
right. Yeah,
easy. Yeah,
yeah. You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. Not in primetime games.
not me. I've never done it, and I will continue not to do it.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, dude, this has obviously been a very interesting week for the NFL because COVID really has struck for the first time on them. Uh, I mean, we've gotten a couple of wake up calls. Thankfully, the Saints test was negative
False
and not
positive.
positive.
Yeah,
Yeah, false
yeah,
positive and stuff like that. Good. That's good to hear because it would have been an avalanche if stuff would have happened. Although the NFL is investigating on the Titans to see what the heck happened there.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, dude. Let's get some football while we can.
yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of football, bro, look, thank God for college football because they definitely put on a show this past week.
Yeah, unfortunately, UCF, went down. Sorry, that was disappointing. But you know what else is disappointing? Texas and Oklahoma. Those two
Oh,
teams are not good.
the Big 12 is out of the college football playoff. It is confirmed. They are not making the college football playoff.
Yeah,
Okay?
I know a lot of people are excited about that.
Yeah, especially people in the South, in the Big 12. But if you're Iowa State, if you're Kansas State, if you're TCU, if you're Texas Tech, anybody else in the Big 12, the conference is wide open.
That's weird. Yeah, and you're Big 12 champions, Iowa State.
Oh my
What?
gosh. Oh, how about a Kansas State Iowa State Big 12 championship?
Fantastic. That sounds like the Cheez It Bowl.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Dude, I'm calling it now, right here. Kansas State, Iowa State, Cheez It Bowl. Calling it
What?
right now. Watch it
Cheez It
happen.
Bowl?
Watch it happen.
Two Big 12 teams in a Cheez It Bowl?
Watch it. Somehow, some way, it's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I will definitely clip this. But you know, I'm glad they put Oklahoma Iowa State on ABC because at first I was questioning like, why are you putting this game on ABC over the deep South's oldest rivalry, Auburn Georgia? That's a top 10 match. Uh, something about us picking the wrong team and them getting blown out, beating the brakes off of. What the heck happened to Auburn?
Yeah, that was very weird. I didn't think I would have saw that. That was just disappointing. But I mean, I guess that proves that Georgia's really good.
Yeah, I thought their quarterback situation would doom them. Anything but. Wow, that defense put the clamps on Bo Nix. I was a Bo Nix believer, and I still believe in him. But this was a game that he just got cranked. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, that was just random. I We were expecting that to be the best game. We even said it last week. It was by far not.
Uh, yeah, top 10. Sometimes top 10 matchups don't tend to be the best games.
No.
Uh, no, and neither do top 15 matchups because we said it last week. Alabama's just Alabama. They weren't gonna lose to Texas A&M. That I feel like they overrate Texas A&M every single year. I'm like, why is Texas A&M in the top 15?
Yeah, that I don't get it either. I mean, not to blame them, but Alabama's Alabama. You're not going to beat Alabama. Sorry.
Yeah, that
Not
that
not in the regular season.
no, that's just that simple. You got to be SEC opponent at home with a full crowd, sellout crowd, making all the noise you can if you really want to beat Alabama early season too, especially.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Alabama's Alabama, but also Texas is Texas, bro. How something about the goal lines in Texas and the onside kicks? What is it with the Texas football, man?
I don't know. It's just bad. To say the least. Yeah. I was not. I mean, I really. I'm not surprised. I feel like Texas is overrated.
Very, very, and it's terrible, man. I mean, this is sad to see because I thought this could be a year that Texas could make a run in the Big 12 because, Oklahoma freshman at quarterback, you know what I'm saying? You could possibly get a one up on Baylor, finally get over the hump. Yes, there is a hump that they have over TCU. 7 of the last 9 they've won over Texas. And you choke at the goal line. You choke at the goal line.
Hmm.
Gut wrencher.
Yeah.
Absolute gut wrencher. Speaking of gut wrenchers, dude, I told you this last night. Back and forth game between Oklahoma and Iowa State. The game was actually freaking fire, bro. That was fire. Okay?
Yeah. I heard.
Yes, bro. That game was so good. It was the game of the year in my eyes.
I honestly, that's what it sounded like. I saw the highlights and it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, very, very crazy. I loved it. Thank you for putting that on Saturday Night Football, ABC, ESPN. Thank you very much. Um, But I told you last week, Drew. I told you, SMU. Let me hop on that Mustang bandwagon. No, I'm just playing. But um, SMU, I was scared because they blew a 21-point lead. But man, what a clutch strip sack at the end, man.
That was it for Memphis. That was their game winner. They were going to run down the clock to hit a game-winning field goal, and the exact opposite happened.
Ouch. Just ouch.
That would have been such a good pick. I was so confident. The White Bengals really let me down.
The White Bengals. Yeah, they really did let you down because we got the lasso and just tamed the tiger.
Mm.
Yeah, dude. That's how you go. That's what happens when you pick against me. No, I'm just playing. You've had my number. But yeah, that was a really good game. I mean, back to back years, Memphis and SMU have had some really good games. Really
Yeah,
good games.
yeah.
But let's go ahead and make some week 6 picks because there are some pretty good games on tap. Let's start with Florida, Texas A&M.
I'm gonna take Florida. I think Florida, they they look good. Trask looks good. They just all around. They are a good team.
Give me the Aggies. I'm going Texas A&M.
Whoa, nice.
Yes, I'm gonna call for an upset here. I am really gonna call for an upset. I feel like this is a trap game for Florida. This is a trap game.
I could see it.
Yeah, and if Ole Miss can put up the slightest bit of fights against Florida, I think Texas A&M will win this game.
Hey,
Um,
hey, I'm fine with that pick. Yeah.
yeah, I'm really confident, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristically for this type of game, but yeah, I'm gonna go Aggies here. Um, I was gonna try to pick Tennessee, Georgia, but after looking at that last game, I don't think Tennessee stands a chance.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, Bulldogs.
Yeah.
That probably might be the quickest pick ever.
Go Georgia. Not go Georgia, but they are going to win. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I see what you mean.
Uh,
But let's put some challenge into this because this is too easy. Miami, Clemson.
Clemson.
Okay, never mind, Clemson, because I just don't know if Miami's gonna do it.
You said put some challenge. That was the least challenging. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
yeah,
Miami. Miami looks good, but Clemson is number one, and they look like a number one team.
yeah, they just look that much better. Okay, okay, I put some challenge into this one for real. Texas, Oklahoma, the
This
Golden.
is a bad challenge. Come
Uh,
on.
this is this something, Drew. This matchup is usually going to be determining who goes to the Big 12 championship, who goes to the college football playoff to represent the Big 12, and that just all got wiped out the window so fast.
Teams of the overrated is what I'll call this matchup. Um, yeah. I'm gonna pick Oklahoma. No reason behind it. Just Texas overrated, Oklahoma overrated. I think Texas is more overrated.
Yeah, I think they are a bit more overrated, but I think they will take this hat from
Oh,
Oklahoma.
oh, okay. I was kind of a shocker there. So you're saying, wow, impressive. I mean, yeah, crazy. It could have gone either way.
Yeah,
Battle of the overrated.
this feels like Ohio State Michigan 2.0.
Every year,
Yeah,
every year.
yeah, I'm gonna pick Texas here. I think Rattler didn't have the best game, but if he pops off at that fair, then yeah, hey, I mean this could go either way. Both teams can pop out and do some things, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick Texas. It's a coin flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about some things that are not a coin flip. The NBA Finals has been anything but a coin flip.
You got Lakers in four.
Uh, yeah, Lakers in four.
I gotta agree. I mean, no Gordon Dragic, no Bam Adebayo. Simple.
Yeah, I mean they put up a good energy fight in Game 2, but
I'm sorry, but Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler are not going to beat Anthony Davis and LeBron James. That's not gonna happen.
yeah, it would be good enough to beat the Celtics, but the Lakers are a whole different team. They're just built different, and when I say built, I do mean they are built. They were built for this crap.
Yeah, their entire team is made for a championship. That's every single player has championship integrity, except maybe KCP.
Yeah. The only thing interesting about this is who gets Finals MVP between LeBron and AD.
I kind of, I think, I, I'm not the biggest fan of LeBron, but I think it would be cool seeing him get three Finals MVPs on three different teams. That would be cool. But Anthony Davis, I think he'll get it because he has this entire playoffs, not just the finals. He has deserved it, honestly.
Yeah, I think they'll give it to AD because he was the best player in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much of a challenge there, but oh well. But Drew, you did ask us a question last week, right?
Yeah, I did. And again, if you guys were following the MLB, this one should have come pretty easily because it was which two MLB teams clinched playoff spots for the first time since 2003 and 2006. And these were the two teams that I was so excited to see in the playoffs, the San Diego Padres and the Miami Marlins, who both advanced. So if you guessed San Diego and Miami, you got it right.
I had a feeling it was Miami just because it was the year 2003.
Yeah, I think every Cubs fan who knows a little bit about the team knows that that was a bad year.
Ah, yeah, that was very infamous. But good question, of course. Good question. But
Thank you, thank you.
I'm gonna actually stick with baseball here with my trivia question. Um, and I obviously do a little bit more research with my questions nowadays. I'm gonna ask, when was the last time that both the ALCS and the NLCS will feature a team from the Western Division and a team from the Eastern Division?
So what you're saying is that it's been a while since there have been no central teams in the ALCS. Is that what the question is?
Not just that, but the CS will be East versus West.
Okay, so in like the matchup being East versus West, cool.
Yeah, because it's
Um,
guaranteed that it's going to be East West.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, DS matchups are both East versus East, West versus West in both leagues. So it's
Um,
guaranteed to be East versus West in
it's
the
a
AL and NLCS.
it's a tough one. I really don't know. I feel like the cheat answer would be never.
The cheat answer. Oh, Drew, you know I wouldn't do you like that.
Yeah, It's gonna be weird. Honestly, baseball history is one of, in my opinion, the most interesting. So it's probably gonna be in an era, maybe like the 20s, 30s, somewhere around there. I don't think it was recent.
Oh man.
Watch it be
Okay.
like 2018.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be interested in telling you that answer. Um,
Oh,
in
that
the
sounds
future.
bad. Oh no, I definitely messed that one up.
Oh yeah, but obviously we've talked about a lot. This is by far the longest episode. I mean, we've had so much to talk about. We got NFL and MLB postseason kicking in at the same time.
Yeah, almost 1:30. That was impressive. That was fun. Yeah, and we said the episodes are gonna get shorter. Nah.
No, sir. No,
Nah, and,
sir.
and and we spent about a minute on the finals, so
That's that we literally spent like 2-3 minutes on the NHL Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals, and we still had the longest episode ever.
yikes. Yeah. So who knows? Some days they're a little bit longer, some days they're shorter. I mean, I guess we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, that should be very interesting. But for now, I guess we'll be back here same time next week.
Yes, sir. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any other streaming device. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias at Top of the Standings on Twitter and at Top of the Standings on Instagram and Facebook. This has been Top of the Standings. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.